please do that. Yeah.
So now what I have done is just repeat what I have done. In the page I have created a new region.
Oh, I think that will
You're not sharing.
You didn't share it. Yeah.
Okay. So now within the same generic component page, what I have done is I created a new region called data region, and I have given it name as link region. And in this one, I created two items. One is for the purpose of providing a website link, and one other one for the purpose of providing a link to the OAF page. So for the purpose of website link, what happened is item style is link, change item style to link, and I change these properties. Destination URI provide http www.google.com, and target frame, if you give underscore blank, it will open in the new window. If you don't give underscore blank, it will open the same window. And text, this is the text which will get appear to the user. For the link, this is the text which will appear to the user. And for now, to provide a link to the OAF page, what is the thing we have to follow? We have to follow some address here. If it's a website, we know that it's a normal thing. It starts with www, something like this. But if it's a OAF page link, how to provide that? For the OAF page, we have to provide like OA.jsp question mark page is equal to your total page part. You have to start with the OA.jsp page is equal to and your page part. So in our case, what shall we do is we'll check. We'll try to provide a link to our hello world page. We'll try to provide a link to our hello world page. So what you can do is either you can run the page and see the path, or maybe if you're well aware, what you can do is just simply give the page part. So let us run the page and see the address. See the address of the page. Then we provide that. Okay, so let's see. So in a given address bar of a OAF page, will provide the session ID, and also it provides the page path. Can you see? Page is equal to something. Page is equal to, and some other extra information. So what we do is in our case, this becomes our page path. In our case, this becomes our page path. We consider this as our page path now. OA.jsp question mark page is equal to this particular one. And let's go to our page now, generic component page, and item 1, I'll name it as destination URI, give this start, and target frame, let us open the same window, and we'll say text as hello world OA page. Okay. So as of now, these are the two static links. Okay, let us finish these static links. Let's run the page and see the difference. And you can also pass parameters. No, as of now we are not passing parameters, but we can pass parameters also. Okay. Now if you see this one, Google website, can you see? If you mouse over on this one, it is showing www.google.com, right? Click on this one, it has to open a new, right? This is how it gets open. And if you try for the OAF page, just try this. When you see, it shows the total address of the page, right? For IP address, if you see the down on the browser, it shows your IP address followed by OA address for HTML, followed by then the link text what you have provided. Right? Right? So this is how it works. And this is for the static links. If at all, if you have a dynamic links, let us say when a user clicks on a link, you want to provide some dynamic link. So how can we do it? So for that, we have to deal with the fire action. For that, you have to deal with fire action property. So what we do now is we go to the page. Let us create a dynamic link now. So on the link region, and create a new item now. New item. Change item style to link. Okay. So I'll name it as dynamic link. And here don't give anything. Destination URI, target frame, don't. Target frame, let us assume that now we'll open the same page, so don't give anything. And the text you can provide. Okay. And Now here comes the extra thing now. Here comes extra thing. So we have to provide a action property, then nothing but event property. Client action, give the event name. Click on fire action and give a event name. As a link event. Okay. Now this is our event name. So we have seen yesterday like how to catch the events, right? The same thing we have to do. The same thing. The way we have done for the pop list, we have to do for the same thing also. For this also the same thing. You can just copy the same code, not confusion. This is our link now. Okay. So here what we can do is we can provide an hyperlink. So how to call other pages from the OAF? If at all if you want to call any other page from this particular one, so what is the code we have to write? So we have to use a method called page context dot forward immediately or set forward URL. There are two methods which are available here. You can either use set forward URL or maybe forward immediately. Okay. So in this one there are some particular function properties which are there, but let us assume that we'll discuss about them later. Okay. Now in this case, this is your address bar, right? This is your address of the OAF page. So I'll just give this one. So in this particular, if you observe, the see what is the code we are writing now is we are handling the event name not equal to none, and link event is equal to our event name. In this one, what are the main properties? The first property, if you see of this, if you see in the set forward here, we have given the total qualified name of our OAF page, starting with OA.jsp, And one more thing, right now the page is not deployed to the server. This pages are running from within the JDeveloper, right? Right now the pages are not deployed to the server. The pages are getting run within from the JDeveloper. But if you deploy to the server, what will happen? The same thing. It doesn't need to give any your instance name or nothing. Same thing without any changes will work. Okay. And here we can also pass parameters, but let us leave about all those parameters now. Just assume that this is the first parameter which we have to consider for the purpose of calling the page from this one using our page controller set forward URL. Okay. So we can just run the page and see how it works. Hello.
No, all the we are assuming that all the pages are within a single server, right? What if my I want to call a form which is hello?
Yeah, tell me, sir.
Yeah. See that. So right now we are assuming that all these pages are residing on single server, right? So what if I want to call a form where the page is residing in some external server?
Then we can give a full qualified name. Instead of giving OA.js, we can also provide starting with HTTP server name, OA underscore HTML, everything we have to provide. So we are not providing any server name here, right? That is why it is assuming that the remaining information by default. Okay. So let's click on this one now. Right? Same thing. Now it went to another page. So when you click on dynamic link also, like as of now we have provided to the hello world page only, right? So that is why it is going to the same page. Okay. You can try with the new page now. You can try with the new page now. And you can try with other page now. Let's provide this one. Okay. So this is a page part now. So let's copy this. And here now we'll call this page OER search page. Right? So when the user clicks on the link, it has to navigate to that particular page. So as of now, we have not mentioned any parameters, but we can also pass the parameters also. Like what we do is like once we start with the ego, in those kind of scenarios, we'll start with parameters also. So now just click on this one, it navigate to our search page, right? To your search page. Okay. So this is how you can deal with the links. Either it's a static link or website link or maybe dynamic link. So now let's just check out the images here, like how to transform the events on the images. So it is almost same, no difference at all. Just simply have an image and give the destination for that. So here, in our case, by default, if you observe, there is a folder called OAF Media. A folder called OAF Media in which the images will be generated by default for the OAF framework purpose. What we can do is we can just make use of any of the existing images here. We can also have a new image, but let us use the same existing image. So I'll use this image for the purpose in our page, and we'll see how can we raise an event when user clicks on this particular image. Okay. So mostly like what will happen is what is the purpose of this particular image? Like maybe you will have a update icon, right? Update icon, delete icon, add icon. This all icons can observe here. All icons will be observed. You can see here. Update enable, update disable, details here, update icons, all updates. Okay. So now we'll see like how to do that. Simple again it's an event style. Nothing different here, simple event one. New item and leave the item still as image. That's the only difference. Leave the item still as different. And, okay. Okay. This is my form. Now in the client action property, give the action name, fire action, and give the fire action. That's it. Give the fire action. Okay. This is the image event. And now, like if at all, let us assume that if at all, if you want to pass a parameters, when a user clicks on this particular parameter, when a user clicks on this particular image, how can like how can you extract how can you pass parameters? As of now, we are not calling any other page with a parameter, right? But let us assume that if you want to pass parameters from one page to another page, like when a user clicks on event, like maybe hyperlink event or image event, how can you pass parameters from this particular links? So here we have a section called parameters. We have a section called parameters. When the user clicks on this parameter, now just click on this parameter here. We can mention the name and value tag. We can mention the name and the value tag. So let me provide some dummy parameter. So I just mentioned the parameter name and I mentioned the values name. So now what we can do is like when user clicks on this particular image event, we can also extract the value of key underscore name and we can use it appropriately. Whether within the page you can raise an event or or you can forward. It can also forward to another page. Okay. So the main thing we have to observe now is. So once we integrate with some other pages, then we'll get more idea. But as of now, we are working on this particular page independently, right? So we don't have much functionalities to show. But once we start the DML operation, I can show you more functionalities on this one. So let's see. Now this is our image event. And then how do you extend the value? Simple. Page content get parameter. So now page content get parameter. This display this one to verify whether it is giving the value or not. we have not provided any name for the image, or sorry, destination URL, image URL is not mentioned on the image ID. So here there is something called image URL. Image URL, we have not mentioned this one. Where is that? Okay. In the image URL section, you have to provide the UI, the name of your image. Here it doesn't need to mention any path. Just simply mention the image name with the file extension and make sure that your image is available in the OA_media directory. Your file should be available in the OA media directory. Okay. Yeah, so just click on this one. Can you see the value on the image event? So this is how you can pass a parameter on the image, and also you can extract that, and also you can handle the event of the image, right? Okay. So these are the independent events. Now, like once we design our DML pages or some other pages, we can make use of these particular functionalities. We can make use of these functionalities. Okay, clear? So can we go ahead with the other functionality now?
Yeah, so question, so we can
Yeah, Sharad. Hello. Hello, Sharad.
saying we can display images which are only available under OA_media folder.
Yes, yes, that is correct.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. If you want to display any
Sharad, your voice
question
is not at all clear, man.
You are saying we can display images which are. What can I do? Is it clear now?
Yeah.
yeah.
So Sridhar, you got my question?
See, as of now, like if you observe here, like within the page, now we are able to display this image because the image is available in the OA media. So as per OA functionality, if you want to display any image, like let us assume that there are two things here. You can have the file in the file system, or you can also have the file as a blob in the database, right? If the file is available in the file system, that particular file should be in the OA media. That is for sure. It should be only on OA media, then only you can display. But if at all, if you assume that the file is in database, if the file is in database, it can be any database table that we can extract it and we can show it appropriately.
Okay, so extract it as a lob object and show it.
Right. Okay, correct. Understood?
Sridhar, I have one more question. So, if you see any web page in Oracle application, there is a button called Home.
Okay.
So, if you click on Home, it will go into your home page, like whatever responsibilities you have, right?
Right.
So the thing is, like every implementation is different. So when Oracle wrote the code, maybe it did some kind of dynamic logic. Like if you see our local home, you will that port numbers will be different for every installation, right?
Right.
So how does like Oracle handle that? Like
Okay.
is that like environment variable, or is that like dynamically do something?
See, like when you run the page, generally, like if you observe, what I know is like when you run the page, there is some server which is running, right? Embedded OC4G server. Embedded OC4G server. This one information, and when you call the OAF page, like what will happen is the server will run, and the server will have all the information, right? Your DBC file and all the your Arc Labs instance name and everything it will have it, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, and that is one of the ways how exactly you can find out the instance of your org. Even when you click on home, just see this one. When you click on home, it will not go to the real instance of your OAF, right? It will not really go to your OAF your real instance. Go to some particular. Can you see the address here? It is 192.168, which is not our instance URL first of all. This instance this particular URL belongs to our server. I mean the path from which our JDeveloper was run, right? From the port and the IP address from which our JDeveloper was running, not from the instance, right? So maybe of course it will work. Of course it works, but not fully, isn't it? I hope. So now again you will see when you click on this one, it navigated to the normal our instance. So one basic information what I know is like see how exactly it is displaying, because the OC4J server is running within our instance and it will have the total information of the apps. This OC4J server will extract all the information of the apps using our DBC file as well as apps connection, because we have a valid guest user password in the DBC connection, and also we have an apps password. That is for database, and this particular one is the front end. When you see that is one of the reasons why we require DBC, because using the DBC only it is displaying the home information. The guest user password will be available for the user, right? When you if you are aware, whenever you want to provide the OAF page to the external vendors, when you want to provide OAF page to external vendors, you have to make sure that they will have a guest user account. You have to make as a DBA, they have to enable the guest user accounts, and then only can provide this OAF page to the external world.
Okay.
So that is one of the reasons. Okay. Yeah. So any specific questions? Shall we switch now?
No. Yeah.
Okay. So now the next topic is like how to perform DML operations in the OAF. So there are different ways of performing. The first way which we are doing is like using entity object. The first one we are performing using entity object. So what exactly this entity object is all about? When you use an entity object, in the OAF framework, there is no PL/SQL code is required. There is no PL/SQL procedure or maybe the DML statement logic is required. No DML statements is required. Okay. So all the DML operations are taken care by Java entity object. Okay. All the DML operations. Insert, update, and delete.
Yeah, like question yes, either like so not related to this. So for the tables which are provided by the Oracle applications, maybe NPQs will be available. But what if I have like custom tables, if I want to generate a create on custom table, do I need to write that like setter getter methods of that EVO?
No, first thing is like if it's a custom table, see for the serial table anyway we will not create entity and will not perform DML on the page. Entity we use like as a custom development, we use entity for the purpose of our custom tables only, right?
Oh, entity is only for custom tables. So
I mean
it's not for standard table.
I mean to say, like here we can use it, but from the OAF page, if you try to we should not directly insert into the table, right? We have to use the APIs only, right? As per the Oracle standard, if you want to use any of the standard table, you have to use an interface or maybe public API, right?
But we can update standard tables.
Yeah, we can update. We can also create an entity object of the standard table and you can perform DML operations. I hope it will not be any other, but maybe the instance may be corrupted, because if you try to insert some other data, and you have to use appropriate sequences which Oracle uses, right? While inserting the data into the record, you have to make sure that you have to insert the appropriate instance, and then it will work, right?
So whatever the entity objects which we are discussing, it's only for the custom tables?
Of course.
No.
No.
I don't think so.
No, see, let me tell you, here, in our training purpose, we'll be discussing our entity object for the purpose of custom tables only. The reason is, the first of all, we cannot update any of the standard table, right? Of course, we can create entity object from our JDeveloper project also. You can create entity object on any of the standard table. But if you try to update, like first of all, you should know what is the sequence behind it and all those things, right? You have to get all the information.
So will Oracle provide any standard entity objects to update or something?
No.
Like
Nothing like that. You will not have any of concept like that. You will not have any concept. At all, if you want to perform DML operations on the standard table, what you can do is you can use an vivo without any entity, and you can call your PLSQL API for that. You call your PLSQL public API for that. What we do is, let us assume that if you have a requirement to perform the updation on your standard tables, what you can do is you can write a vivo without any entity, and a user performs the DML operation. You call the PLSQL public API, and maybe if it is interface, and maybe or else public API, then we can perform all DML operations.
so the custom like I'm sorry using the word custom. So the OAF pages, like whatever we are seeing, like customers, suppliers, whatever we have.
Okay.
So does they have any? So does they use Vivo as the source to update or insert the supplier information into base table, or like any
No, no, the standard pages anyway they will have Evo, right? Because Oracle is having the source code, they will have Evo. They will have Evo and Evo stuff.
my question is, so if the standard Oracle has Vivo, so can we use that Vivo? Like, so Oracle gave us like some kind of supplier screen. So we don't want that supplier screen. So we want to fully like recreate the custom supplier screen. So can we use that Vivos, like Oracle standard Vivos in our custom?
See, the first thing is here. Let us say you want to say that BC4J objects of Oracle you want to use it, but the front end you want to use your own. BC4J objects of Oracle you want to use it, right? And your layer is of be a layer of yours. But how about your AM? How about AM? Who will provide that? You will not have source code of your BC4. You will not have a source code of your Oracle objects, right?
So sorry, I will not.
You will not get source code of your Oracle objects, right? Source code will not be provided for you. So all the logic will be in the AM itself, right? All the logic is in the AM. Of course, the view layer, entity layer, you can see what is the table name and what is the query that use it. But in the AM, the complex logic is, in the AM you will not get the code of the AM, right? So it becomes, like that. So
Then okay. So then we can't able to customize any, like customize. I'm not
so here,
expressing myself correctly here.
no, wait, 1 minute, Ravi, 1 minute, I'll tell you. See, the thing is, so we have to constrain to some other restrictions here. This is a framework. First of all, any Oracle OAF, let us assume that Oracle standard pages. Let us say, consider Oracle standard pages. We have a concept called only personalization as well as extension. Right? Personalization, we have it.
These are the only two concepts.
Personalization, extension. You cannot use any of the. Let us say what you are saying is like, let us can I use some layers of standard one, and can I make use in our custom code? We cannot use that way. Let us assume that we have a let us assume that you have one of the Vivo, and you want to use this particular standard Vivo in your custom page. This kind of things is not possible.
The thing is, for example, like in forms, you have a calendar or defined calendar in PLL.
Okay.
So you can use that calendar in any of your custom pages.
Understood. So if you say that way, like we have some shared regions, which you can use in the custom pages, not the BC4 job. We have some pages. Like maybe I can say attachment region. Attachment region is there, and maybe the work list notification is there, and our XML report share region is there. So there are some particular regions which you can use it, but not all the things. These are only shared regions, not even the pages. They are just a shared regions. But BC4 job we cannot use it because the AM will be different for them. Right? That's the reason.
So so whatever you are saying is like we can't see that AM of your standard pages.
We can see it, but we can't see the code, right? We don't have the code. We'll have only class file. So again, we have to decode, and rather than getting the understanding the Oracle code, it is easier to implement our own pages.
Got it, got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So now, in our case, what we do is like just start with this one. We go with the custom table called student data. And whenever you want to implement any of the entity object, we have to consider few things. One is we have to have a row ID. Sorry, we have to have a primary key, and also you should have two columns. Any custom table on which you want to create entity object, it have these two things. One should be a primary key, and also you should also have two columns. So in our case, the table which we are considering is having all those things. And let me show you that. Okay. Right. So it is having a primary called ID and the student name, date of birth, joining date, and the remaining columns if you observe the who columns. Okay.
So sure, like this is out of box, like out of this concept question. So, so in R maybe the O columns will be required, but in other world like not OA framework, other MVC architecture, do we require that O columns to create an entity object?
See, these are not required, to say frankly. These are not required. These are preferred ones. These are not mandatory. These are preferred ones. Even if you don't have this particular one, also we can manage. Even if you don't have this one, also we can manage. It works. This is not mandatory. These are preferred. If you don't have primary key, if you consume row ID as a primary key, and if you don't have who column, what will happen is it will read like we can write a suppressor classes for that. So generally what happens is by default it will give an error, but what we can do is we can write a dummy method to suppress that, so it will not give any error.
Okay.
Okay. That is how we can do it. But these are not mandatory. Who columns are not mandatory. Okay. Yeah. And now what we do is like we'll try to design a page where we can perform all DML operations. For DML operation on the page, what are the components we require us? The first thing is we have to require entity, and next we require a VGO, then AM and page and then CGO. So if you see the flow will be like this: page, CGO, AM, VGO, entity and takeaways. This is how the flow. Okay. So the starting object which we have to create now is entity object. The starting object should be entity object. Let's create the entity object now. And the package structure for the entity object should be schema.server. Package structure should be schema.server. So we'll go to our page. Okay. In the FND, right click here, click on new entity object. Click on next. Okay. So here give it the package structure as schema.server. And in the schema object, you can select any of the database schema. You can select, or maybe any other schema also you can select. So generally what we do is in the real-time implementations, you will have your custom objects in the custom schema, and also you'll have a synonym in the app schema, right? So you'll be creating entity object on the synonym. But in our case, like the table which you're using is already there in the app schema only. So we just use the same thing now. Okay. And now it is our class FND schema.server, and our entity object name is this one. Evo. So give a suffix as Evo here. Give a suffix as Evo. And the package structure as FND schema.server. Okay. And the schema object, you give your schema object name. Okay. And then click on next. So once you click on next, automatically it will get all the metadata information from the database. Once you click on next, it will automatically get all the metadata information from the database. Nothing but how many columns are there, what are the data types, and what are the attributes of them, whether constraint, primary key, all the information it will get automatically. Okay. Click on next. Okay, click on next. And here, the entity in the Evo IMPL, we can also generate these set of methods. Okay. So, but right now, like this particular session, it's the first session on the Evo, right? So, better not to discuss about these methods now. So, just leave it as it is. The file which will be.
So, if you select that one, you create the methods for that one, right?
No, I'll tell you. So, the thing is here, in the entity I am for a given entity we'll have these set of methods. One is definition IMPL and evo IMPL. In this evo IMPL is the main file which we use for the purpose of our DML operations. In this one we have create, DML, validation, all the methods, right? So these are the methods which we call whenever user is trying to perform an insertion or deletion, all those things. These are the methods which we call indirectly when the user is performing the DML operation on the page. Okay. So now click on next. Now the last step, if you observe, it is asking us to generate the Vivo object. It is asking us to generate the Vivo object. So what is the purpose of Vivo here? If you observe the cycle of our OAF framework, can you observe? So in the page we can provide only Evo information, right? In the page we can provide only Vivo information. Evo information will not be provided. And then the aim also cannot speak to the entity. It always has to go through the Vivo. So if you want to access the information from a particular entity, we require a Vivo. Without Vivo, having a Vivo is also of no use. So we require a Vivo now. So we have to generate the Vivo at this step. So click on generate, and here give the package structure for your Vivo. It's FND server, and give the Vivo name like FND Evo Vivo, like this. Okay. So now at this step we are generating the entity object as well as Vivo object. At this step now we are generating two things. One is entity object as well as Vivo object. So run this and finish. Okay. So now what you do is go to the AM, double click on the AM here, and can you observe the schema server now? It is not showing anything here, right? It is not showing anything. But you can also observe from here whether entity is there or not. Here entity is there, but when you do the same thing here, it's not showing. The reason here is we cannot move the entity to the AM. It's only through the Vivo the AM will take care of the entity. So only thing what we have to move is now just the Vivo object. What I am saying is the application module cannot communicate with your entity object. It has to be done only through the Vivo. So that is why we are just moving only Vivo, not entity. Yeah. Even it doesn't show also. First of all, it doesn't show for us. It doesn't even show it. So select your Vivo object and move it. You can apply. And
this is only the select Vivo, right?
See here, I'll tell you one more thing here. Over here, Vivos are three types. One is read-only Vivo. Another is a Vivo created based on entity. And other one is programmatical Vivo. Okay. Because using SQL query. So these are three types of Vivos which are available. So for the search pages and all those things, we have used our read-only Vivo. And now, for the purpose of DML operations, we are using a Vivo which is based on entity object. If you want to perform DML operations on any of the database table, we have to create a Vivo based on the entity. We have to create a Vivo based on the entity object. Clear? So in the ADF, we have four types. In the ADF, there are four types of Vivos. The extra thing which is available in the ADF is we can also statically provide. We can also provide data to the Vivo during the time. You can hard code it. You can hard code the set of rows. That is extra thing which is available in the ADF. So coming back here now, yeah. So we have provided our Vivo to the AM, and you can also double click on the AM here. Sorry, Vivo. Double click on the Vivo. Just observe some of the properties here. Can you see the entity object name? Right? Entity object name. And just check out the SQL statement. We have not written any SQL statement, but it is generated automatically. Observe that. Right? The SQL statement is generated automatically for us. How it got generated? As we have created our Vivo object based on entity, automatically entity will generate the SQL statement for us. And by default, it will not allow you to modify. But what you can do is you can click on expert mode. You can click on expert mode to modify it. You can click on expert mode to modify it. Just click on apply. Okay. Click OK now. Fine. Till this part. Okay. So now you create the page. New OA components and page. Okay. This is our page name. And we also create a controller now. Set new controller. And on the page, set the properties. Name region. Name definition. Okay. Yeah. We'll create a new region now. And one more region. In the student region now, I'll perform like a new region using wizard. New region using wizard. Click on next. And you can select this one. Or AM name and then the V1 name. Click on next. And here go with the table region now. Go with the table region. So always you're going with the table region, but we can discuss the other regions also next time. Click on next. And select all the columns, but 2 columns are not required. So you can just skip them. Right? Only 6 columns are enough. Click on next. All the things should be message text input, right? All the things should be message text input. Next and finish. Okay. So now we have created a table region. Also we provide the buttons like insertion, updation, as well as delete. And right click on the table region. Right click on the table region and click on new table actions. Click on new table actions. So now it will provide all the buttons to the user, like the save, insert, update, as well as delete. Okay. When you create the table actions, automatically it creates this region for us. So on this region now, click on new icon. Okay. And change items to the submit button. Okay. The first one what we do is we provide just save. The from just save. The same we can do for other buttons also. Insert as well as delete. Okay. Now buttons are provided and they are tried functionality one by one. So initially what we do is just see the update. We'll just see only update operation. Okay. What we do is now we have to initialize first of all. We go to the EM, write the installation functionality. So what is the installation you have to do? Okay, the name is XXCS student data. Okay.
Tab, it will automatically come the name.
Yeah, now if you see here, let's say I'll say EX and just press control space bar. Control space bar. So it will show the list of information for you and you can just select the appropriate one. And we'll call this method from the CBO. So go to the processor request of the CBO. This is the initialization method, and now we also need to handle the save button. We also need to handle the save button. So what we do is if page contains the get parameter, save not equal to none.
I was thinking the tool will generate this method for us.
That thing is not there as of now.
That's why I'm asking previously. So will that create any methods for us? I thought like just to modify the methods.
Okay. So now like you just start commit method, that's it. Then if user clicks on save, just call this commit, that's it. So automatically the data will get updated in database. Okay. Now just see this functionality first. In ADF and those kind of things, like it doesn't need to write code. Like the controller, like how much code you are writing in the controller, this much code you will not write in the ADF. But understanding that becomes much time. Understanding will take much time to understand the framework. The framework is so, quite complex, considering, I mean, if you consider this with this, that.
Does anyone using ADF, Sridhar, the marking?
Yeah, there are there are people. Yeah. So now just see this one here. If you observe, what we do is just let us say for this user test and say test one, rename test one, and for this user we say test two. Okay, and just click on save. Click on save. Okay, data got saved. Let us observe the database. Let us observe in the database whether it has saved data or not. Right? Got it? Test 1 and test 2. And can you see the last update please? Right? And maybe you can try for this particular user and you can change and you can check the last update date. Or the test 54. Test 54. Click on save. Check here. Right? Got it? This got updated to 90 people. So what is the code you have written? When you click on a save, you're just calling it commit method, right? That is the only code you have written for the updation purpose. There is no other code required. And there is no PLC logic involved now, right? Clear? And we are next coming to the next topic now. Like in this one, let us let us see the functionality of insert. When user clicks on insert, so you have to insert the row, right? First of all, we have to insert the row in the Vivo level, and then the same thing can be used by the database. So when user clicks on a row, first of all, we have to insert a row in the row level. We have to insert a row in the Vivo level. Okay. So now we just see the logic of that particular functionality. So what we do is, insert. Go to the in now. Right, and we require the Vivo of our student data as well as row and fill also required. We also require the row and fill also. So what we do is go to the Vivo and generate the row and fill also. So where is the Vivo? Java, click on Java and click on generate Vivo row and fill also. Click on apply. Okay.
What is that? What you did?
Yeah, what I done is like I double click on the Vivo and selected this particular row and fill. Selected this row and fill. Yeah, the purpose of this one is like here, whenever you want to see. So first of all, here the concept is Vivo is nothing but your cursor. And whenever you want to fetch any of the data from the Vivo, we require some particular temporary attribute which should be equivalent to the your result of your cursor, isn't it? So the fetch operation will always retrieve a record from the cursor. And that particular variable should be of the specific data type, right? That particular variable should be of the data type which belongs to your cursor selection query. So in our case also, I'll write here, see, generally cursor, let us assume that the underscore student. Okay. Now, in the begin section, what you do generally, you'll say open the underscore student. And when you're trying to perform fetch the underscore student, into some variable name, right? V underscore let us say student underscore record. This V underscore student record should be of row type of this one, right? Isn't it? In our case, this is our VIVO. And in our case, this is our row empty. That's one thing. Okay.
Okay.
To handle the row of a VIVO, we have required.
I have one more. Row implement Vivo or Vivo is there, right? What is that? So you can explain.
This is our VIVO row empty. This is our VIVO row empty. This is our VIVO empty.
Vivo implement Vivo row. Okay.
And now, here. And if you see the code of this row MPL, just control click on this row MPL, you will see get method as well as set method for each and every column. So this will have all the columns here, and also it will have the set method as well as get method. For each and every column, you will have set method as well as get method. Set, get, set, get. Okay. Yeah. So coming back here. So we have to initialize our row, and then if you want to insert the row at a different position, you can mention go to the last row and go to the next row after that, and then you can insert the row. We go to insert. So like this. If you don't mention this particular functionality, what will happen is it will insert the row at its own position, and it will insert the row at its own position.
Means it replaces the existing row.
So now we are going to the last row. We are going to the last row. After that, we are going to the next position of the row, and then we are inserting the row at that position. And one more thing here, like in this particular page, the ID which you are showing there's a message text input. This is not correct. You have to show it as message style text, right? The ID should be entered automatically. The ID should be generated automatically. And we can also use a sequence for this one. We can also use a sequence. Generally, for the primary case, we generally prefer to use sequences. So what you can do is you can use of a sequence. You can make use of a sequence. So here, I think we have one more sequence which was created already. Yeah. So this is a sequence which is already there. We'll just do the same thing. This is one more sequence which is there for our student database table. Okay. Writing the sequence value is 110. What we do is, instead of allowing the user to enter the ID, we'll generate the ID using our sequence. So whenever user clicks on new row, this sequence has to be generated. What we do is, during insertion of the row itself we have to take care. So before insertion of the row, what we have to do is, first of all, get the sequence value. It doesn't need to write any of the SQL method here. Simple, we have some Java APIs. That should be Oracle JVM domain number. Data type should be Oracle JVM domain number. And then it is equal to get away to transaction, get sequence value, and it should be in a capital letters. Okay. What you do is row dot set ID. Row dot set ID, that's it. Okay. This is how we can use a sequence in your page. And now go to the page and make this ID as message style text. ID as message style text. Or you can also make it as read only. So both will work. You can also make it as read only, or else you can directly change it to message style text. Okay? Yeah, now let's see. Okay, just click on insert now. The last position it has to insert a new, right? 111. You just give the dates and all those other columns. You can save. Okay, the 111 should be inserted in the database. The 111. So check in database. You have to see the new record now, 111. Right? Got it? And the other information like last update login, treated by, everything is updated automatically. It doesn't need to set them. It's taken care by the EVO itself. Okay? And maybe it is not showing the total date format, right? But it shows. Okay. Yeah, so this is how the insertion works. Okay? Yeah, so we'll see the deletion next class, okay? Next class, like, we'll see the deletion and single selection or multiple, single delete or multiple delete. And we'll also see, before that, we have to see a concept called reverteration. Reverteration is the process state. After this one, you have to see the delete, okay? Let's see these two functions tomorrow.
This is on Monday, right?
No, tomorrow is Saturday for me, your Friday, right? Are you available or not?
Sure.
Just update me, okay? Just update me. Okay?
I think we in the next class we will on Monday.
Okay, fine. So your Monday or my Monday?
My Monday night. Monday morning for you.
Okay. Okay.
Hello, Ravi.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, yeah, Sunday night will be fine.
Yeah, Sunday night, Monday morning. Your Monday morning, our Sunday night.
Okay, so my Monday morning. Fine. Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
Sridhar, like if you when we are doing the practicals, if we get any doubts, so Sridhar, like if you when we are doing the practicals,
Ravi?
yeah,
Yeah, Ravi. Telling
if we
something?
get any doubt while practical comes, who do we need to contact?
No, you can mail me, na? The mail ID which I provided. You can just mail to that.
Oh, okay. You will send out the.
Yeah, if I am free, I will send you the reply.
Okay.
Okay?
Sure, sir.
Okay, shall I?
Thank you.